Is there a single person on the planet who is familiar with Elon Musk, Tesla and SpaceX who doesn't also believe that it's inevitable, just a matter of time, until Tesla and SpaceX AI become one? This is Walter Isaacson, who shadowed Musk for about 2 years, writing a very detailed biography.
I definitely think you're going to see Tesla and SpaceX end up merging. They're already working together on Terafab, which is this huge chip building plant that's going to be done in Austin. Likewise, XAI and others are going to want to have, and so will Tesla, to have data centers and low Earth orbit. That's all going to be pulled together. And Elon Musk is always moving engineers back and forth, moving designs back and forth between his companies. So I think your analyst is right. That's in his heart. He wants to make this one big company.
And according to Walter, not just wants to, but will. And from Musk's biographer to the omnipresent Dan Ives.
Next week, you have SpaceX, which maybe is SpaceX going to buy Tesla. Do you think SpaceX gets Tesla under the umbrella before the IPO? I really would like to know what you think about that.
Not before the IPO. So I think SpaceX IPO, in the summer, and then I'd expect a merger with Tesla in 2027, first half.
So again, I asked the question, I do mean this, let me know in the comments. Is there anyone who's quite familiar with Musk and his companies that does not think this is inevitable and just a matter of time? And that's an entirely separate question from whether or not there are people who would prefer not to see it occur. That's a conversation for another day or later in this video. I haven't heard a single person who isn't of the opinion that this is going to happen, who's also familiar with Musk and his companies. I say it is inevitable. We have analysts saying that is inevitable. His biographer, Walter Isaacson, who got to know the guy pretty well for a couple of years while he shadowed him writing his biography, believes it's definitely going to happen. He didn't say it might or probably. His word was definitely. Analyst Dan Ives even throwing out a specific time frame to see this happen. If we are right and this does happen, I'm probably assigning about, let's just call it a 99.99969420% probability that does occur. The question, not really if, but when. Then it makes sense if you're an existing Tesla shareholder or a potential Tesla shareholder or an existing and or potential SpaceX shareholder that you begin thinking about the companies as one, at least in this possible future. If you own Tesla and you don't really think about or care about SpaceX, you're going to be missing out on half of the picture. Same is true for the SpaceX investors and or enthusiasts who would like to own the stock, intend on purchasing at or around IPO. To ignore what Tesla's doing would be pretty silly if the two companies are ultimately going to become one. There's so much insane, utterly ridiculous in terms of both scale and ambition projects going on at these companies right now. It's a lot to get your head around. Assuming SpaceX AI and Tesla do become one, let's think about what's currently under those umbrellas. You have Tesla killing it in terms of electric vehicles, massive battery storage products, grid scale storage products. Just started producing their first dedicated two-seater, fully autonomous vehicle, the Cybercab. Only company on Earth making money selling electric vehicles at scale, and it's 2026. Legally operating fully autonomous vehicles in a few cities in the US at fairly small scale, but they're doing it legally and safely already. And they've also effectively transplanted the brain of the vehicle into a humanoid form, finalizing that design, entering production soon. First production capacity per year, roughly 1 million units. Second gen production, aiming for up to 10 million units per year. Gen after that, call it 100 million or more. Ridiculous. Never mind the AI 5 chips, and 6 and 7 and 8. SpaceX, utterly embarrassing the global launch industry, although there really isn't much of one at the moment other than SpaceX. Launching roughly 90% of all payload to orbit. Dramatically lower cost than any other launch provider because of their reusability. Finalizing designs of Starship, which will itself massively further reduce launch costs and massively increase global launch capacity. On the back of their dramatic cost advantage for launch costs, SpaceX, which Musk announced Starlink back in 2014, if I recall. Starlink dominating both home broadband, growing at a staggering rate, over 10 million customers. They also have a direct-to-cell service, apparently over 6 million customers and growing unbelievably rapidly. Starlink has essentially blanketed the entire surface of the planet. Not just highly populated cities, the whole surface, oceans, mountaintops, everywhere, with high-speed, reliable broadband internet for homes, and have now adapted that to also operate as a cell service. Predictable, reliable, profitable, money printer. And SpaceX recently acquired XAI, one of the world's leading AI companies, which not long ago itself acquired the X platform, one of the world's largest quote-unquote social media platforms, where everyone goes to get their news as opposed to be told what to think actually happened. go there for the ground truth. X currently in the process of introducing X money, aiming to disrupt the global financial services industry, which equates to roughly 1/3 of the global economy today. All of this and more likely to fall under a single company if SpaceX AI and Tesla become one. The Terafab project, a joint effort between Tesla and SpaceX AI, itself is going to be monumental. And on Tesla's most recent earnings call, we learned some useful information. Tesla's going to be building a laboratory to test new physics in chip manufacturing, some new techniques, and then scale up to reasonable enough volumes in terms of production to see if this is actually viable for high volume chip production, investing give or take $3 billion on this. SpaceX seemingly likely to be funding a much larger fab, which implements some of the learnings, the techniques, the innovations, the new physics, the new ways of manufacturing chips at scale that Tesla's, I'm going to call the Fab Lab, has invented. But if these companies do inevitably become one, then everything that matters for SpaceX and XAI and X also matters for Tesla. Let's get back to Walter Isaacson.
But I think there's a current question, and people say this sort of under their breath. They don't like to say this aloud. There are some people who are SpaceX investors currently. These are pre-IPO in the private market investors who were not thrilled about the acquisition of XAI because of how big a deal that was, how much it diluted the business. This argument that maybe you'd be better off being a pure play space company as opposed to a sort of combination space company, AI company. And now some of those same people, at least privately, say that XAI investment, maybe that wasn't such a great investment after all, if they now have to go buy Cursor to make it work and effectively shore up a business that Elon Musk has now talked about publicly needing to be rebuilt effectively.
I'm sure a lot of SpaceX investors may be saying that, but my heart doesn't bleed for them too badly because they're going to do incredibly well, and they have done very well in the whole creation of internet and low Earth orbit. That's probably going to be direct to cell phones soon, and a place to be able to put data centers in outer space. I think that is going to become a tremendously valuable company. I think you have to remember Elon. In my book, I talk over and over again how he acquires Solar City, for example, and the people are upset when he does that at Tesla, the shareholders, because it's dilutive. But this is the way he's built these trillion-dollar companies, and I suspect, especially with all the things happening in space right now, just an amazing time for America to be going back into space, both with SpaceX, but NASA now with the Artemis program back on track. Right. At some point, Jeff Bezos's New Glenn will get things into orbit right, and we'll have 3 different entities going into space.
Walter, I think you're right. By the way, I don't think anyone's they're getting out their tiny violin, but not even that. I think one of the reasons that actually, even if investors in SpaceX grumble, by the way, some of them owned stakes in XAI, so they're benefited. But even more than that, they look and they say, you know what, SpaceX is worth $200-300 billion, 12 months, 18 months ago, and now here it is, trillion, maybe $2 trillion. So again,
I think you got to remember. They got to remember they're investing in Elon Musk.
This is a very good point. I was thinking it. I didn't interrupt earlier, but if you're somebody who's gone to the fairly extreme length of investing privately in SpaceX, not easy to do, especially for anyone outside the US, and also not cheap. Good luck getting a small slice of SpaceX if you've got $10,000, maybe $250,000 or so, and yep, okay, that's viable. If you're lucky and somebody's willing to let you in on their vehicle that's allowed to own a small slice. But to go to that length without an extreme level of clarity around the business's financial results, they don't have to report because they're not a public company. You really are betting on Musk, which is a very big vote of confidence with your own money, putting your own money on the line. This guy knows what the fuck he's doing. You are, in essence, betting on Elon Musk. So to have gone to such an extreme length to make a bet on Elon Musk in a private market on a business without a huge amount of clarity, with a very unknown future, in a whole new industry, doing multiple impossible, unprecedented things at the same time, with lots of risk involved. This is an enormous, tacit vote of confidence for Musk, his decision-making abilities, and the probability of success of SpaceX. To then, having bet your own money on the guy, a massive vote of confidence, to be strongly opposed, for example, to the SpaceX XAI acquisition or the Cursor deal, seems a little contradictory. You've looked at the guy's track record enough and seen enough historical success with incredible execution over multiple decades and multiple domains. We're willing to bet on the guy, but this time you don't like the idea is it possible that in such a situation you may have seen things in Musk and the track record and decided to bet on the guy, but this time perhaps you're just not seeing what he's seeing? Here's the way that I would think about it. This is the question that I would ask. Is there a single person who's ever invested in an Elon Musk company who didn't panic sell or Elon bad sell or butthurt sell or Orange Man bad sell, who invested in an Elon Musk company and held, not for a matter of milliseconds, days, weeks, months, or even quarters, but held over the long term, who didn't see an enormous return on their investment? I rest my case. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has been part of my daily health protocol for almost half a decade. It's packed full of vitamins and minerals and helps me fill in nutritional gaps while supporting energy, digestion, and immune function. It also has prebiotics and probiotics to promote gut health. I take my health very seriously, and so should you. Try AG1 today by visiting drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment and enjoy a free welcome kit with vitamin D3 plus K2 and AG1 travel packs. That's drinkag1.com/SMR.